Hankaten explained how to manage change points in lean construction. This is a really neat concept because it opened up my eyes to what we should be focused on when we're doing our lean planning. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about some things that are now on my mind and the places where we would talk about these items. So if you're interested in that, please stay with us on this video. Okay, so the Japanese word Hankaten literally means change point or point of change. And I remember, this is really good. You've heard the concept of going to the Gemba or Genshi Genbutsu, which means go see for yourself, and what you should do when you go there. And we've heard of these concepts of the Ono circle, where you draw a circle around a human and they literally watch. So somebody asked a lean professional one time, or a sensei, what do you look for at the Gemba? A couple of the things that individual said is, when I go to the Gemba, I look for people in friction, like where are they straining the most? Then you look for the movement of the product or the flow unit, like are things flowing? And then he said he looks for things that are not right. And this concept came to life for me later because it was explained to me that things that are not right are typically in your change points. And so that's where most of the focus should be. And when you think about it, and David Brown does studies, he's a consultant that helps trades and general contractors, anyone in construction really. He will study a trade and their productivity. The bottom 25% of workers in a trade partner, without interruptions and excluding the change points when they're just doing work, will typically beat the bid units, meaning they will make production. The top 25% of the workforce in a trade partner are either double or sometimes up to 4 times as productive as the bottom 25%. So workers and foremen don't have a problem, what we call beating our units or making production or making money with how they work. So what are the problems? It's the stops and restarts. It's the change points. It's the information. It's roadblocks. It's the system constraint. It's not people. We're so misguided when we're blaming people in construction. The change points become something that we should notice and monitor in construction to find our problems. The first one I would say, which I'll talk about in another video, are limiting factors, our bottlenecks, according to the theory of constraints. When we go out to the job site, we should be looking for our trade bottleneck, our zone bottleneck, or our most limiting factor. But beyond that, where are things changing? And here are some examples that I have for us to look at for things that typically change. But before I do that, I want to say, where do you discuss this? Well, change points are a great discussion for the afternoon foreman huddle. And it could actually be in the agenda. And really quickly, the most important meeting of all meetings in construction is the morning worker huddle, where for 5 or 10 minutes, the workers go from the parking lot to the morning worker huddle area. They queue up and then they go to work for the day. But we connect with them, we shout them out, we create a social group, we talk about the plan for the day, and we literally go through 2 minutes of training. And we literally are building humans. We build people before we build things when we do that. The main question that I get asked with this is they're like, yeah, I get the huddle, I get the shout outs, I get the social group, I get most of it, Jason, but there's 2 things that I don't understand. 1, what do I talk about? 2, what do I train on? I'll give you both of these. Number 1, what do you talk about? Change points, things that are changing. Is that crane now blocking the southern access? Is that stairwell now shut down? Is there going to be some different thing today? Is the weather changing? Change points is what you mainly talk about in the morning worker huddle. And as far as instruction, the things you talk about, I have on the podcast, and we'll link you to them below, small lean topics that you can talk about every day to the workers to make sure you're reinforcing a lean environment. And I'm really doing a great job to train the workforce on how to think. And so that's the main thing. But what are these change points? Let me give them to you right now. Okay, so people or labor change points. A new foreman arrives, a crew member changes, new trade arrives in a new zone, an area where there could be confusion or any other kind of variation. Method change points, where now the sequence or the method has changed. You're switching the workflow. You have updated procedures, new inspection criteria, or adjustments in configuration. Another one may be material change points, where you have a different brand or supplier, substitutions or alternates, delayed materials, variation in installation, damaged or missing components, or changes to the work installation procedure. You could also experience change points with the equipment, and mainly you'll probably experience change points with the environment. Weather changes, seasonal changes, new access paths, underground conditions, noise, vibration, confined spaces, things that are blocking your way. And so anything that's really changing from the norm, what people are used to, is what you'll talk about. So my example was pretty nice. Like, hey, there's a crane there on the south end. It hasn't been there before. The stairwell on the north, you've been counting on it for a long time. It's now blocked. We have a handoff that's going to happen on level 3 that's never happened before. We have a special inspection for the med gas, which is fairly new. We are now digging an underground line in front of the building, which we haven't done for months, and we need to make sure we have a dig permit and that we don't strike an underground utility. So anything that's changing is what you're reminding the foreman and the workers to pay attention to so that it doesn't create a lot of variation. So Hankaten, the change points, are a great way to keep everybody safe and in flow because we're managing the things that are variation. I'll put this into a blog post and a visual for you, but I really hope this has been value add. On we go.